Welcome to Iceland. My name is Gylfi, and I'm glad to say that today's journey is not only suitable for the tourist section of my channel, because what we have is also a geological phenomenon, decent enough for any volcano nerd, because we all love mysteries. And today's mystery was buried deep down until an ancient megaflood revealed the guts of my country. So welcome to Hljóðaklettar. I'm starting with the map to put this location in context with other popular tourist attractions. Our destination is 2 hours away from Akureyri, the capital of the north, and only 1 hour away from the whale-watching village Húsavík. And I will be focusing on Road 862, which is officially only a summer road, although it tends to stay open longer if the autumn weather is in our favor. And Hljóðaklettar is actually just one of 3 geosites by the river. So I suggest that you look at them all as one package, as they are all a part of the same flood history. And the name Hljóðaklettar, it means echo cliffs, because sound can bounce around there with unusual clarity. And the mystery lies also in the origin of these formations. And when we put Hljóðaklettar in context with the other formations by the river, this shot should explain it, but I'm having the drone over Hljóðaklettar now, looking downstream to the north at the formation Ásbyrgi, where an ancient flood removed a huge chunk from the edge of this sealed volcano. And I have, of course, a separate video online about that. And when we look upstream from this same location, the waterfall Dettifoss is not far away. And although the Icelandic tourist industry chooses to promote Dettifoss mainly as one of the most powerful waterfalls in Europe, I prefer to do that story from another angle. This is the average flow, around 200 cubic meters per second. And it is actually quite impressive, until we do the math and upscale this volume to somewhere around million cubic meters per second. And it's only then when this story takes off on the level it deserves, because what we have here is the flood path of one of the largest floods on Earth. And we don't talk so much about this flood here in Iceland for some reason, despite the fact that what we have is a larger-than-life story that deserves more. And the origin of the flood can most likely be traced to Iceland's largest ice cap on the highlands, Vatnajökull Glacier. It is possible that it was a volcanic eruption that triggered the flood, likely from meltwater coming from the volcano Bárðarbunga. It is also possible that a collapsing ice dam upon a glacier led to these spectacular consequences, with actually way more formations than these 3 that I'm talking about now. And Hljóðaklettar is in a way the low-profile formation, not as stunning as the waterfall or Ásbyrgi, unless geological formations or natural abstract photography is your thing. If that is the case, make sure you have plenty of time and take the zoom lens with you, because this is a national park with restrictions to protect the sensitive vegetation there. And I'm not going to make this video as complicated as many of the formations, although I am, as usual, not doing the tourist version. That does actually not include the fact that there are indeed 2 different hypotheses about the origin of the formations. The official one, the old one, explains the formations as exposed eruptive fissure from an ancient volcanic eruption. And these formations were exposed during floods. And then we have a relatively new science paper, where it stated that these are in fact pseudocraters, or rootless cones, which is a phenomenon known for being deceptive in appearance, like we see here by Lake Mewat, or something that looks like craters. This is where lava flowed over wetlands and exploded. So it's nothing under them, no roots. And that's why they are called rootless cones. And they don't look like anything we see in the gorge, which has very different formations, including pillars that have the characteristics of magma intrusions. So I'm not sure what to make from this science paper. It is actually based on the fact that this part of the gorge is a few kilometers away from the fracture swarm of Askja volcano, and to find eruptive fissures so far away from the main fracture swarm is unusual enough to make this into a task for scientists and students. So could it be that these formations are some sort of pseudocraters resulting from lava flowing to the river from nearby eruptions into some sort of hot pot of different elements that formed something that can only be described as perhaps Mother Earth doing her first acid trip with an abstract gallery in mind. And that is what we got. And the authors of this science paper, they actually refer to a similar landscape elsewhere in the gorge, and a part of this paper is available in English, and it concludes that there is still uncertainty about the origin of these formations. So for fun, for the nerds out there, I'm linking to this paper. And I say for myself that I'm having a hard time to see the columns there come to being without any direct magma source. I've filmed the magma intrusion columns, pillars, and layers in many forms, numerous times. And this looks like traditional magma intrusion to me. But I'm also having a hard time understanding the many forms we see there as a result of traditional magma intrusions alone. And my wild guess, without any science background, is several elements at work simultaneously, shaping this from chaos, which produced this rare sight even on a global scale. And the Hljóðaklettar's acoustical oddities arise from the same geological quirks that define its appearance. And today, this formation attracts tourists, geologists, and hikers from all over the world. And this is one of the places you need to read about before you visit to get the imagination going on location. And to make this video with the voiceover only is not doing the place justice. So the second half of today's show will have music only, and most of the clips were shot in 2025, and I'm focusing on forms and details first and foremost. And when I'm done in Hljóðaklettar, I will end the video further upstream by a waterfall midst between Hljóðaklettar and Dettifoss, where the ancient crater row from Askja crossed the river, adding one more layer to the unsolved mystery of Hljóðaklettar. And as always, feel free to use the comment section for your own ideas and thoughts about this strange place. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland. Bye.